Welcome back to the Upset Special. It's your favorite upset show where all the hosts are really bad at picking games, so that's really fun. Liam here today with Parker and Josh. We're going to do our best to lose, and lose again. Yeah.
Per usual.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
every week we come to the show saying this. We got to turn this around at some point.
All
Surely.
right. So let's just scrap that. The vibes are high. The upsets to be found everywhere, whether it be in the United States of America, the Gulf of Mexico, a game being played at the Panama Canal, or possibly some Japanese college football. Whatever it is that our hosts are looking for to dot this week, we're winning it. It's not a failure like last week. That better?
Sounds good to me. I like that positivity.
Okay. To recap last week, Parker, Hawaii over UNLV, Kansas over Texas. That puts you at 2-6 on the season. Josh, Syracuse over Clemson, Michigan State over Iowa. There was some fight, but you're now at 0-6. The Wheel also 0-6. Arkansas over A&M. Stanford looked good against Oregon until 6-0. Wasn't good enough to cut it. So the Wheels 0-6. I'm 1-9. I suffered heartbreak in the form of Auburn over Georgia and Duke over Notre Dame. So we're on this week.
You were inches away from being 2-0 though. That might be the closest someone's come yet.
It hurts so much.
I'm just glad
The pain.
I just heard that I'm leading apparently though, at least out of this group, which is funny to me. I did not expect that.
Let's just say there ain't no leaders.
Yeah, it's a pick your poison, if
It
anything.
really is. Excited again to this week. As always, comment your favorite upset or two for the week. Just let us know, and please make sure to like and subscribe. We'll kick it to you, Parker. Your first pick.
All right. Well, I'm a fan of this one. I've got a fair bit of confidence in this one. I've got Marshall over NC State. NC State getting 6.5 points against the Thundering Herd. I just starting off on the Wolfpack side. I just at this point in the season, I have no faith in the NC State offense. The Bradley and Brennan Armstrong reunion has not gone nearly to plan. Outside of Armstrong running the ball, that offense really cannot muster much of anything. On the flip side, Marshall can ground and pound with Rasheen Ali and an stable of backs that are really great. I think the defense is solid. They've already beat Virginia Tech, are still undefeated overall, riding a lot of momentum. I think they can walk into Raleigh and easily take down. I think Vegas is seeing 6.5 isn't even that big of a number for the casual fan to look at, but Vegas is seeing that this game really, that it could be a pick 'em in my eyes, to be honest. So I'll take Marshall to go in there, add more insult to injury to NC State's season, and I'm not liking the Wolfpack at this point. Going bowling even might be a struggle for them this year.
One of the most perplexing preseason rankings, votes, etc., was NC State getting so much love in the ACC. I was completely befuddled by it, and what we have this week, you've got Marshall going in there, great defense. They're going to be able to flex their muscles and really play a strong game. Micah Abraham does such a good job shutting things down the outside corner, and you're facing a new quarterback. MJ Morris is now in the mix for NC State, so fresh blood for the sharks in the water to seek out. And Marshall, I like the call.
And I'm glad NC State's changing because I wrote about them in the preseason. And really, Morris was the guy they had tabbed to really, be taking over when Leary left. And then you, of course, bring in Armstrong for more competition. But Morris might have the higher upside, which kind of goes against my pick. But in his first game coming out, I don't like him going against the Marshall defense either.
Definitely has the higher upside, in my opinion. How about you, Josh?
Um, so that was my first game I was gonna pick. So once again, Parker Snipes.
That's the second straight
fine.
week I've taken one of yours.
Exactly. But I like that. I basically agree with all that you said. Brennan Armstrong, just a guy apparently. So stinks because that one year where he was really fun, it was magical. But I'm gonna pick a quarterback, a young up and comer. 2 games, he's just played Southern Miss and UMass, so take it with a grain of salt. But 9 touchdowns to 1 interception with 516 yards. Arkansas State, I think it's plus 17 at Troy. Jalen Rayner, he's like the third string quarterback for them. The first 2 guys were whatever, and then he came in because the backup got benched against an FCS team, and then Rayner looked good. And then he started against Southern Miss, looked great. And then UMass looked awesome. He had like 6 touchdowns and 300 yards. So plus 17, I just don't. Troy's really, really good. And they're probably going to beat Arkansas State. But even just like spread wise, people, you might want to look at this because plus 17 feels like too much if Rainer's actually really good. And I think, he's going to go out there, sling it around, just do some fun. And again, we're not picking spread, we're picking straight up. But I'm going to go with the Red Wolves here, surprising team after, they got blown out by Oklahoma. And they're showing some life down there. So I'm going to take Arkansas State.
I like the pick. Kyron Samuels and I on the preview podcast both hyped up Rainer a good bit. And hey, good for you, Josh. You're out of the college basketball round. You're on to some football programs.
Hey man, sometimes you're looking too far ahead, and I got to bring it back to the roots. Football.
The fighting Butch Jones. The fighting Butch Joneses. I like it. I also just Troy took down my darling Georgia State Panthers last week, so I'm gonna cheer against them regardless. So I'm with you on that one.
Just a really good performance from Troy last week to shut Georgia State's offense down like that. It was very impressive, very sad for some of us. I'm not sure where I'm going for my first pick, by the way. I know where I'm going for my second pick. I'm very excited about that. First pick, I actually do know what I'm doing. I've blanked out, spaced out, forgot I was doing this. I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Like, I'm not doing this elaborate Liam, what word am I looking for? Like Shakespearean effort here. It's as simple as it's as simple as this. Wyoming over Fresno State by double digits.
Double digits, okay.
That's fair. How many points?
Wyoming's a 6-point underdog.
Really?
At home, yes. The odds makers and the odds makers and the AP voters and college football fans are really all in on Fresno State. I think that they're overvaluing them a lot. The brand speaks for itself at Fresno State. Jeff Tedford's elite, but they should not be 6-point favorites here. They should not be ranked. They're not the best team in this conference. I put them behind Wyoming and Air Force. Like, I take Wyoming all day here. Excited to see Harrison Whaley run all over him. Excited to see John Hoyland just show off that boot NFL kicker. Gibbs, it's an easy Wyoming pick. I want to keep it short though.
Those Vegas guys have clearly never been to Laramie, Wyoming before. That's all that means.
Really. Must have missed the Texas Tech game as well, but he's possibly missed the antics in the App State game. But hey, well, I'll just take the Magic. I'll ride with it. Wyoming, easy here, double digits.
Hopefully, we get another crazy finish in that one too this weekend.
Well, no, I want the double digits, please.
Well, actually, that's true. You won double digits. Fair
like
enough.
maybe
game is
like
on
they're
Fox,
up. Yes, it is. Also, good shout out by Josh. It is on Fox. They booted the TCU game up on now there. It's not. It's on Fox Sports 2 now. Amazing decision making there. The Mountain West has gotten so much national respect from TV networks in the last 2 or 3 years, which is kind of nuts to say. Like, they're getting national CBS games, they're getting national Fox games. Really good stuff.
Very, very woke of Fox to do that, I will say. Very woke.
Your pick. Oh wait, no, it's not your pick.
Wheel,
oh
man.
no,
I've been waiting on the wheel.
It is the wheel. I forgot. I didn't even have it pulled up. I'm such a doofus. Oh no, to think I look forward to the show every week, and when we don't get a third, looking forward to the wheel. Oh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
I'm gonna pick Louisville. It's gonna pick Rutgers.
I'm gonna say it. You said Louisville. You say Rutgers. I say it lands on Georgia Tech. Okay.
Wisconsin getting 13 against Rutgers.
This one doesn't count. I'll tell. It landed on Purdue. They play Iowa. That just doesn't count.
Oh. Yeah,
no. McNamara's out. It's Deacon
2
time.
basketball schools again.
2-point con. It's red. Okay. The wheel came with a doozy.
Oh, wow.
Michigan.
The wheel says
Little Brown Jug.
It's Little Brown Jug week? Oh.
Yes. Yeah, the wheel says, Liam, I live on your phone. I'm well aware that you've been saying for months, Minnesota's back. They're going to be good. They could beat Michigan this year. I threw all that stuff away, or so I thought. the wheel seems to have absorbed it into its brain and presents this here today.
You created a monster.
I did. This is the wheels just got a knack for going big.
I mean, yeah, I see no conceivable way that this does happen other than it being a rivalry game at night, and Michigan maybe has just been sleepwalking too much and they haven't really been hit in the mouth yet. That's the only way. But
yeah, I'd have agreed with that, but they played their first true like complete shutdown. We're just better than you. We're gonna flex our muscles. Our talent wins out. Good coaching last week against Nebraska. It was like, I don't know. 3 weeks ago, I said, "Hey, sure, Minnesota could win this game." Today, I think the wheel's a wee bit high.
a little bit, probably. I'll roll with my second one then. All right. I'm going for a bit of action, going a little bit off the radar this week. I've got the Bowling Green Falcons going to play at Miami, Ohio, getting 10 points. Riding high off last week's win over Georgia Tech. Bowling Green looked really good in that game. B, you're looking at this team. They really have not suffered a bad loss yet. You know, it's been in blowout fashion mostly, but you lose to Ohio, arguably the best team in your conference. You lose to Michigan. You lose to a great Liberty team. Outside of that, this team beat Georgia Tech, and it's Eastern Illinois, but I think they still have a lot of potential. The fighting Connor Bazelak, former Missouri quarterback, he still throw more interceptions than touchdowns, but hey, he had a better week last week. It's action. Miami, Ohio really hasn't recorded a great win in my book either. As of right now, Cincinnati on the road looked great in the moment. Who knows how that's really going to end up panning out?
For
We'll
MAC
see.
standards, it's very good.
It is. But I mean,
Yeah,
The MAC has higher standards than that.
That is a very good one. That's a rivalry game. Miami of Ohio getting that win, massive for the brand. You plant the MAC flag too after that. I was never in on Cincinnati. I mean, if you listen to me and Andrewster talk Scott Satterfield in Louisville the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, his playbook, like I could fill up more plays on a play sheet on like a napkin at a restaurant than what he has in his book. There is nothing of substance there. It's the same three concepts. It's terrible. It's nauseating. It's bad football. Not a Scott Satterfield guy. Just hate his offense. Misuses so much talent. Cincinnati always been bad after hiring him. How he fluked into that job after he should have been canned by Louisville, nuts. All time finesse move.
All I hear is you prove my point that Cincinnati win isn't even that great. Bowling Green on the road, some action surprise. Who knows? Maybe Bazelak and co make a run at the MAC title. They come out of absolutely nowhere. It's not going to happen, but who knows?
Maybe they have Adu Hilaire and Finn Hogan, two of the most spectacular catchers in all the MAC. I was gonna say in all the West, but like that don't work. I was gonna say North. It was the MAC.
It's Mid-America.
All roads lead back
to the MAC.
Is that the case for you, Josh?
Liam, you mentioned that you have your second game locked in, which has me worried because that's
no, you don't have to worry about my second game. It is random. You don't have to worry about it.
Wait, what division is your game from?
Don't worry about it. Just kind of look back to what I said in the intro. Okay, yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the NAIA. Shout out because I was just looking randomly, and I saw this
graphics gonna be disgusting.
I saw this random game.
Oh no.
I saw this random game and like, all right, I'm gonna pick it because it's an 0-5 team versus a 4-0 team. But then I dug into it more. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is actually like this should be like a mini documentary. So I'm gonna do a quick history. This is Madonna University versus Marian, the Knights. So who is Marian? This is a powerhouse, okay? But they only started in 2007. Under Ted Karras Jr., if that name sounds familiar, his dad, uncles, and his son either played or are playing in the NFL. So Marian, they started 1-9, and then they went 7-4, 6-5. 2010, they got to the playoffs for the first time. 10-3, they made the quarterfinals. Following year, 12-1, Final Four appearance. 2012, they won a championship, 12-1 already, and then the coach went off to Wash U, and then that team set multiple records. 2013, the year after the championship, kind of a letdown, new head coach. They go 6-5. Then 2014, 11-3, runner up in the title game. 2015, 10-2 champs. 2016, 1-11 quarterfinals. 2017, kind of a letdown, 7-3. 2018, 10-1 first round appearance. 2012, title game runner up. 2020, 2021, that's like a weird year, you know. They had a spring season, they finished 5-2, they get to the first round. 21, 9-3 quarterfinals last year, 9-2 quarterfinals. This school like is really good at picking up players from Indiana. They're just west of Indianapolis. So just to review, 16 seasons, 2 first round appearances, 4 quarterfinals, 1 semifinal, 2 runners up, 2 titles, 138 and 46, a 75% winning percentage. And they also have a tight end, Brandon Dillon, has been in the NFL for 3 seasons, and he's currently on the team right now. He's on the Commanders injury reserve. And Crenshaw Hogan was the first NAIA player to ever participate in the combine. He bounced around a little bit in the league, and I think he was on Montreal last year in the CFL. All right. So Marion, they're great. They're 5-0 this year, 4-0 this year, excuse me. And they're number 4 overall in the NAIA. Who is Madonna? Madonna is this little school located in Lavona, Michigan. That's a west suburb of Metro Detroit. They are 1-23 since 2020, but that win came by forfeit, so they're 0-23 in 3 seasons. Why? They started in 2019. So their season was supposed to start 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. So they have that weird spring season, kind of washed it off. But then 1-11, I think the following year. But again, like there was a forfeit, and then no wins last year. This season, they have a 55-0 loss, an 89-0 loss, a 42-7 loss, 31-7 loss, 44-9 loss. Right. For this game, Marion versus Madonna. Last year they played opening season. Marion won 86-0. There's a video on YouTube, 6 minutes, 35 seconds long. It's Marion football touchdown montage versus Madonna. I think like the score at the end of the first quarter was 35-0. And they just kept going, even with the backups in. Like they were trying to just run it out, and Madonna couldn't do anything. I like this comparison because if you look at it, Madonna can look to Marion as motivation. The Knights are an NAIA power now, like I've laid it out, but it did take them 3 seasons to get to the postseason, and yes, they were winning already before that. But you know, it's kind of a buildup, you know. And Madonna, they've had a really rough start. COVID affected everything. They're still figuring stuff out. They're not getting the players like Marion's getting from Ohio, Indiana, sneaky recruiting places for college football casuals who think of California, Texas, Southeast. No, Ohio and Indiana produce some really good players, and Madonna's just not getting that. And so this Saturday at Churchill High School, located in Lavona, Michigan, Madonna 22, Marion 21, and the greatest upset ever, and the best first win for a program you'll ever see in your life.
And the best first win for you on the upset special this season.
That's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna cheer. And I think the game actually, if you can watch, I don't know if it's available online. I think it's only audio only, unfortunately, but I'm gonna try to tune in. Hopefully it's free. So shout out.
Yeah, that was not what I was expecting.
I think he might have won up to you this week with his
I
his
think he
history
did.
lesson. That's incredible.
He did.
That was amazing.
No, I'm telling you, like I just jumped in, like I was just like looking through. I was actually looking in the Mexican college football, and like there's just nothing really upset worthy. And then I was looking through this. I'm like, 0-5 versus 4-0. This is an easy one. Let me get a quick background on these teams. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually like kind of crazy between these teams. So hopefully it's gonna be an awesome victory. So shout out Madonna. And it kind of sucked too, because when I was doing research, you know, you type in Madonna and it pulls up the singer. So, but hey, after this weekend, you look at Madonna, it's going to be a great upset win.
Yeah, first page up there. It's going to be Madonna upsetting there, and that'll be amazing. We'll all be Madonna fans for the weekend.
Well, to segue, if there is a way to segue, remember a few weeks ago, little old Liam decides, let's pick a Canadian college football game. This'll be fun. Fun it was. Until with under a minute left, Western throws for a deep touchdown to beat Queens and ruin what should have been a perfect upset prediction. And then somehow, some way, the one Canadian college football game that an American college football outlet has ever talked about before the game went viral because the Queens commentator was basically crying on that final touchdown because Queens lost. The Gales lost. They lost. And I was out there all high and mighty, thinking I had in the bag. And before the game, I asked Queens, hey, can you guys send me a shirt? That might be cool. And they did it. Revenge game, baby. I'm taking Carleton. I'm taking the Carleton Ravens. Confident that they might send me a shirt. There's no confidence, but it'd be cool because they got sicker brand and everything. I want Carleton to win this game. I talked about them a few weeks ago when I was talking about Queens. They just came up naturally because they're college basketball dominance. Now they go out there. They play very good college basketball every single year in Canada, and they scrimmage American college basketball teams, and they compete, and they beat them. There's a long list of they've played Cincinnati, they've played Syracuse, you name it, they've played them, they've beat some. It's a good program, but we're talking about football, not talking about basketball. If we want to talk about basketball, in 2022, Queens upset Carleton in the NCAA tournament. So, in the Canadian college basketball tournament, not NCAA. That was a slip up. But yeah, I mean, these two programs legit hate each other. Taft Charles, who played at Carleton, he last season, so a few months ago, for basketball, he said, Queens, we don't lose to Queens. Hate those guys. They do hate them. Carleton, not so much like Madonna. They played college football for a long time, but after the 1998 season, after they put up back-to-back 1-7 seasons, bang, program shuts down for a little bit. Now you've got to revive it. And that they did. They revived the program. It got going again in 2013. Start up a little sleek 0-8, and they've simply been trying to get it going. In 2015, third season back, they beat Queens in the playoffs. No biggie. They've had their troubles against the Ottawa GGs. That's a rivalry game. That's called the Panda game. But we don't have to worry about that. We're focused on beating Queens and getting some revenge. 2021, they lost to Queens 41-14 in the playoffs. Carleton's been getting their groove. They've been finding something since they've been revived. Pretty sure Queens leads this series 6-4. They won last year as well, 49-17. Heck, if we want to talk about Queens a little more, that team might have beat York 87-0 last week. So let's come back down to earth. It's a Friday game. This is at Queens as well. I like Carleton to go in there and shock the world. And I want you guys to remember the name Tristan Lefebvre. Tristan Lefebvre from Ottawa, Ontario. Yeah, quarterback, throws the ball really well. How about Joshua Ferguson? He's got carries on the season, 226 rushing yards. How about Kasim Ferdinand? I'm not sure where he's from. 35 catches, though, on the season, 3 touchdowns. Pretty neat. Frederick Hache has 4 touchdowns on the season. This is the stuff we like. I like Carleton to get going, win this game. Send me a shirt. I'd really appreciate it. Let's go, fellas.
I am all here for Canadian football rivalries. And while you were talking, I was looking up there. First off, a phenomenal logo the Carleton Ravens have. And also, I mean, uniform's really great as well. Maybe a little bit Texas Tech-y, but I'm honestly, I'm really a fan. I do like this. I like this pick.
You like
I love
Rodney
the
the Raven too.
Oh,
Their mascot, Rodney the Raven.
Yeah, I ain't looking at Rodney the Raven. I do love the revenge factor in this one, though. Someone's going to send you a
this is
eventually.
personal. This is personal.
Oh, Rodney looks like a beast. Yeah,
Rodney's
Really
sick.
clean uniform.
Like I'm telling you,
nice.
as someone that has stumbled upon the Carleton basketball scrimmages before, and they play a really like nasty defense that's just tough. Like that's why Of course, we get to college basketball. Of course, somehow we get there. But Carleton's able to really give these NCAA programs trouble because the defense that they run, they overload one side on defense, leave the other corner open, and then they switch really quickly. So that's helped them become this juggernaut. And I mean, yeah. So I kind of saw what Carleton's brand looked like because of that. And yeah, it's just sick. It really is sick.
Rodney's also pretty big on social media at CU Bird Gang. Pretty social media influencer, if you will.
I'll be following him.
So much better. Yeah, looking at the Ravens, like the Baltimore Ravens mascot, so much better, so superior.
I need to
The
find
Ravens mascot beak is too big.
Yeah, I need to find
Beak
like a
shaming.
history of some of these games that they've played though. Like in college in Canadian college basketball, like I think their coach might have retired recently. And so that felt Taft Charles is the new guy, but I think their old coach had like over a 90% win percentage. It was just like
Oof.
these guys always win in basketball. Time to show it in football. Oh yeah,
I feel like
there.
Well, I almost feel like we need to start adding other countries to the wheel as well. I mean, to give the wheel
Other
an equal
countries.
chance.
Maybe we do.
Japanese
Maybe we
wheel,
do.
Mexican wheel, European.
And also, I talked to well, I didn't talk. I DM'd Theo Benedict, who's the #1 NFL prospect in Canadian college football. I met him at the Shrine Bowl, plays for UBC British Columbia. I've got them winning the championship in Canada because I mean, who wouldn't? And he told me Western's very beatable this season. That was a really good pick you had. So
Oh, wow.
Queen,
Nice.
Queens failed me. So yes, revenge. Now here comes the wheel. I don't know what the wheel's gonna be looking for.
I'm
Louisville.
sticking with Rutgers. It's still going to take Rutgers over Wisconsin.
We keep picking basketball schools.
Oh, wow. You know what? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Georgia Tech's just every single year they'll lose a horrible game and they'll win one game they have no right to do. Miami's going to have all this hype for the Miami Knights blackout. I don't know. Whenever Miami has too much hype behind them.
Are you
I'm
sure
scared.
you're not just I mean the similarities, the correlation rather, in your second pick and the wheel's second pick. Your Bowling Green you take, they just beat Georgia Tech, who the wheel's now taking. Both teams playing Miami of Ohio, of Florida. Interesting correlation. The wheel just knows. Like I'm telling you guys, it's got mine.
The wheel and I collaborated this week. We talked about it beforehand.
Okay,
we knew we were going to do this. Yeah, I see 2-0 right there. No questions asked.
Holy!
I mean, my 2-0 is gonna be amazing.
I did also have a backup one I wanted to shout out as well, just if we do have the time. I also liked Cal over Oregon State. Honestly, 9.5 at home. I just think Oregon State's offense. Ever since the San Jose State game, it seemed a little just. I mean, running games were fine, but DJs looked iffy. I feel like at best, going up against a tough Cal team that I think is going to be a lot better than their final record's going to end up being, just because of how the Pac-12 is this season. But at home, I think they can make that a low-scoring game, and they could win it on a field goal late or something like that. And I just 9.5 is too many points as well. I would say.
I like that. I was almost going to take that as an actual one, but I'm gonna run through my backups real quick as always. North Texas +6 at Navy, just because I don't trust Navy at anything more than -3. Jamori Macklin, cousin of Jeremy Macklin, if that name sounds familiar, has been fantastic. Great wide receiver. Chandler Rogers has been very effective for North Texas. Vandy +18.5 at Florida, just vibes. That's just vibes. Tulsa +4 at FAU. This kind of confused me. I mean, FAU's been fine, but they don't have Casey Thompson. It's Daniel Richardson, who's been okay. FAU's kind of beat up because they've had 3 straight losses against physical teams, Ohio, Clemson, and Illinois. So they're probably feeling it. Tulsa's defensive line is low-key kind of nice. And Cardo Williams is a fun dual threat. And Kendaren Ray is an awesome safety. Like, you people should know his name. So Tulsa there. UL Monroe +12 at South Alabama, vibes. And then finally, I've been saying it, but Louisville +6.5 at Notre Dame, just because Jack Plummer is either hit or he is missed. Those are capital HIT or capital MISS. So if he hits, they can pull the upset. And it was kind of close last year, actually. So maybe
Miss,
Louisville,
miss.
another basketball pick right there.
Oh yeah, that is true. I don't have any leans or anything, but I did find Carleton's game log against Division I opponents in college basketball and scrimmages dates back to 1979. Carleton played Cornell, beat them 69-67. They played a day later and lost to Colgate 39-37. It's a very deep history here. There's even some games on the game log against Maine and Boston College that have the location as unknown. Nobody knows where that game was. Those games are played. Very interesting. I counted this out too. I'm gonna have to recount because bad at numbers. So give me 3 seconds to count here.
Sounds good. Go Ravens.
It's 12 or 13. I could have scuffed it, but I know I need to talk about it. So 12 or 13 straight wins. They had 12 or 13. They went on 12 or 13 game winning streak against NCAA basketball opponents. Those wins were against New Hampshire, Canisius, Northeastern, St. Francis at Brooklyn, Siena, Providence, Cincinnati, Ole Miss, South Dakota State, Maryland Eastern Shore, South Florida. The streak ended when they lost to Valpo in overtime by 3. I mean, they lost to Syracuse in 2019. They got smoked by Kentucky, unfortunately. They haven't won one in a while. They haven't won one since 2019 against Albany. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, there are some really good wins in there. They've beat Alabama in Alabama's visit to Canada.
Man, they want Bama. They really do want Bama.
They beat Wisconsin in 2013.
Oh, that had to be a good Wisconsin team too back then.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably a really good team. Interesting. I wonder, did you mention any big names to come out of Carleton's basketball program, or I wonder if there are any.
Hold, wait. Wait, that Wisconsin team was the team that. Yeah, that Wisconsin team was the team that made the Final Four.
So
They
Carleton
beat-
Final Four team.
They beat Final Four Wisconsin. Yeah, they beat them 95-82 in August on August 21st, 2013, and in Ottawa. And then the 2013-14 season, Wisconsin went on to make the Final Four. I could look up some of their famous basketball alumni. I'm not.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I couldn't really see anybody.
Parker, you're right.
Let's
This graphic's gonna be insane.
Oh
for this
yeah,
week.
it's gonna be amazing. Dude, I thought the Maction pick was gonna be like, oh, that's fun, Maction. No, I got destroyed by Canadian football again, which is
So
fine.
they had a player
yeah.
named Chris Webber, not that one, but another.
Another Chris Webber.
Yeah.
Thought he played for Michigan.
All right. It doesn't look like they've got big time notable names, but yes, they did beat Final Four Wisconsin, so no big.
Fair enough. And their
All
football
right.
team's gonna win this weekend.
Yeah, revenge. It's personal. Beat Queens. Send me merch, Carleton. I'll wear it every single day on the podcast. Send all of us merch. We've come to a unanimous decision. Rodney the Raven is sick. Rodney
I want
the
a photo
Raven
with
might
him.
be he could be the best mascot on all of Canada, including NHL teams and such. Hunter with the Oilers, you're not him. And then I mean, like the brand, the uniform is just so sick.
Go Ravens. I want a photo with Rodney the Raven. That's one of my new life goals.
All right, man. Thank you all so much for listening and everything. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, please just comment below upsets or anything that you got. And yeah, good luck to you guys. We didn't even recap the games. My bad. Let me do that real quick. Wheel had Minnesota over Michigan. Wheel had Georgia Tech over the U. Parker had Marshall over NC State. Bowling Green over Miami of Ohio. Josh had Arkansas State over Troy. Madonna over Marion. I had
Let's go.
Wyoming over Fresno State. Carleton over Queens. Almost forgot that. That could have been bad.
All household names.
Very
Exactly.
household name.
Madonna, the most household name of them all, honestly.
Very true. Very true.
All right.
Madonna should the singer should be on the graphic.
Oh, jeez.
Just
Okay.
confuse
You know it
everybody.
will be now.
Oh man.
Do you want me to ask that right now?
Yeah, that would actually be a great one. That would be awesome.
Oh,
Just throw it out there.
jeez.
Okay.
And people are just gonna be
I'll get
confused.
that.
Awesome.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. See you on the next one. Thanks.
Send us merch.